I'm back in Peru. Last time I was here 7 years ago, I was hiking the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu. This time I will also end up in Machu Picchu, but via the much longer hiking route via Choquequirao, an amazing set of ruins which I'll see in a couple of days' time. We're getting a pretty easy start on day one. It's mostly downhill today into the Apurimac Canyon. The river here flows eventually into the Amazon and into the Atlantic. After yesterday's very gentle introduction, today's a complete contrast. After we cross the river, we'll be climbing up a zigzag path for about 1,500 meters or about 5,000 feet to our next campsite. The route we're taking is over 100 kilometers. We're doing it over 9 days. There's a lot of up and down. We should be doing, on average, nearly 1,000 meters of climb every day. We're off to see the ruins of Choquequirao. It's only the third day of our 9-day walk, but this is the bit that I've really been looking forward to the most. This is the Inca city of Choquequirao. It's a similar layout and architecture to Machu Picchu, but unlike the latter, this has only been about 30% excavated. There's huge amounts still to be discovered below the vegetation. The visitation numbers here are very different. Our guide believes our group of 16 may be the only people here today, and that contrasts to about 1.5 million people each year that visit Machu Picchu. And part of that is because the access here is very difficult. There's a 2-day hike from the nearest road, and that's a long dirt track, whereas of course Machu Picchu has its train and buses. For years they've been studying putting in a cable car here to facilitate more tourism, but I think really that would be a shame. Machu Picchu's become a bit of a tourist circus, and it would be a shame if this place did too, I think. These are the llama terraces. Llamas were really important to the Incas for meat, for their wool, and even for sacrifices. This house would have been for an important person. The roof would have been made of tree trunks with bamboo and grass to make a thatch, and there would have been a second story here with, again, tree trunks laid on these ledges here, bamboo across, and then clay to make the floor. These protruding rocks up here are utility, they're for hanging things. What's also very cool here is we get to camp within the Inca city on one of the terraces. You wouldn't be able to do that in Machu Picchu. We've left Choquequirao behind now, but we still have about 6 days of hiking left before we reach Machu Picchu. We have a couple of high mountain passes to overcome first, but today we're heading down to the valley of the Rio Blanco, and after that we'll be starting our first big climb. On this section of the trail, we're being treated to quite a display of flowers, various orchids, lupins and many others. There's a history of silver mining in this mountain. Along this path we're seeing the entrances to tunnels which have been dug in order to access the silver ore. There's still mining takes place today, albeit on a much smaller artisan scale. And we even actually heard two dynamite blasts yesterday. We've made it to the top of our first high pass. This is the San Juan Pass, 4,150 metres. From here it's downhill to our campsite, and then tomorrow up to our second pass, which is about 500 metres higher than I am now. Well, another 5 AM wake up today. We're starting walking now about 6:30. We're going to our second high pass today, the highest point of the entire trek. Although today should be a little bit easier. We're initially following a road. It'll get a bit steeper later on though. This is the highest point on our trek. It's over 4,600 metres, that's over 15,000 feet. The air's pretty thin up here, and with the steep climbs it makes it quite hard to breathe. So we've been drinking coca tea, eating coca candies, both made from the coca leaf, so we're going to have to be quite careful going back through the airport. We've also been inhaling agua de Florida, which is supposed to help with opening the airways. From here, it's not quite all downhill. We've got a big downhill today and a bit more up tomorrow, but generally speaking, it's all a lot lower than here. This is a 9-day trek, which means we're camping for 8 nights. But for the 16 of us walkers, it's actually relatively straightforward. We're only carrying our own day packs with our snacks, our water and so on. We've got a crew of 10 who are supporting our camping in addition to our 2 guides. We've got 5 horsemen who are looking after the 25 mules and horses that are carrying everything. They're carrying the tents, our personal gear, our kitchen, our dining tent, all the food we need and everything else. And we've also got our kitchen team. We've got 5 in the kitchen, a couple of chefs, a waiter and a couple of assistants, and they're churning out 3 substantial meals every day, including a 4-course lunch. And what they're producing with the very limited facilities they've got is absolutely incredible. And they're providing us with afternoon tea and snack bags every day. It's really quite something. With the horses, we've got 1 horse that's been following behind us, usually a horse called Apache, on some of the steeper sections. And Apache's been carrying extra water and oxygen, and is also there just in case any of us get into trouble and need a ride or need our backpacks carried. So it's a really, really good service. And that was our first view of Machu Picchu, which we'll be visiting properly tomorrow. Now it's down through the cloud forest to the Urubamba River. Well, this is a bit of a shock to the system after a week and a bit of virtually no other people. It's a real circus here. We were supposed to end our walk here and get the train to Aguas Calientes, which is the town that serves Machu Picchu. Unfortunately, due to some protests, the trains haven't been running for the last 3 days. Service is resumed at the other end of the railway line, but there's not going to be any trains here until tomorrow. So we're actually going to walk the next 10 kilometres following the railway line to Machu Picchu. We did foresee this, our guide knew about it, so we've planned, our luggage has gone ahead to Cuzco, so we're just taking our day packs. So a little unexpected extra 10 kilometres. Part of the problem here is there's no road access to Aguas Calientes. You can only get in and out by train or on foot. We're equipped for walking, so that's fine, but we're passing an awful lot of people, regular tourists who don't have walking boots, don't have backpacks, they're carrying luggage. It must be a real challenge for them. It's easy to think of Machu Picchu and the Incans as an ancient place, ancient civilization like the Egyptian pyramids and pharaohs, but actually Machu Picchu is only less than 600 years old. It was only occupied for about 100 years, the Incans being wiped out by a combination of civil war, disease and the Spanish conquistadors. The buildings here are certainly impressive, just their sheer number and the complexity of the layout here. And also the engineering's impressive. They're using terracing to prevent landslips by managing the drainage. But at the same time they're building this, Europeans are building things like King's College Chapel in Cambridge, which in some senses are much more impressive. But I think here what's most impressive isn't what they built, but where they built it. The site sits on a col between the two mountains, Machu Picchu Mountain and Huayna Picchu. It's 400 metres above a bend in the Urubamba River. But why here? Well, possibly because it sits an equal distance between 3 snow-capped mountains. The Incas saw the mountains as their protectors. So thankfully now the train is working. We did have a backup plan, but it would have taken an awful lot longer to get back. So we're heading back now towards